Thank you for joining me today. One of my friends asked me if I could build a new base in the sides with this fabric here. This is a seat that goes into something. I believe it's her mother's, so I'll never see what it actually goes into. It's fur on the top with fake leather that's falling apart around the side. So let's get on with it. The first thing I'm going to do is take it apart. Now, unfortunately, this fabric has not only just seen better days, it is disintegrating under my fingers. If I've undone this side, then I should be able to work out where the stitching is on the first side and get that out as well. I've just pulled this out and the foam underneath is petrified. I'm going to have to tell my friend that this is not workable, that I will have to replace the foam in here. I didn't know what it was filled with. You know, it's got fur on it, so it could have been filled with straw. I don't know where she got it from. It is solid, absolutely solid. I cut my piping 1.5 inches wide like usual, and it's one long length because I took it from the width of the fabric. I want it quite tight on here at the beginning. I'm going to pop it underneath like that and sew to the end. I don't want to risk this opening up, which is why I've sealed it at the top there. And I'm going to just pop it underneath again, like that, and sew all the way to the end of here. I didn't want to have lots of joins in this, and I know one width of the fabric goes around the seat, because I checked. Let's build that up, because I don't have a bed to go with my sewing machine, which means that the weight of whatever I'm working on keeps falling over the side. So let's try again. Pop that up. Keep finding threads in amongst the fur, which is not too good. The fur is slippery. I'm going over slightly from the centre back. Slide this into place. I have to leave at least 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch at the back there. As this is slightly rounded, I am going to cut in to the piping like this. Not too close, but close enough that it will twist open, because I didn't do it on the diagonal. I wanted long lengths that had no breaks in them. The length of the stitch is on the longest length, and I'm going to see if I can get this sewn in. This machine isn't really designed for going through leather, but for a small project, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm going to take this around the outer edge and twist it as I go around, like I would do with any other seat project that I'm doing. This is coming in okay. It seems to be stuck down okay. I'm going to just be very slow and take my time. I'm not going to rush this. I have found, with a little bit of trial and effort, that if I lift the back end of this up so it's not touching anything, and with my fingers guiding this towards the outside edge of the fabric, I am able to keep everything in line as I go. Because the fur comes down like this, I'm not pushing the piping up against it, I'm pulling the piping down with it so it stays as smooth as possible. And I'll sew this little section and then do the same in a second. Lift it up, pull it back into place, and then sew. Lift it up, pull it into place, and sew. Every now and again I kind of catch up with myself. There is a little bit of a corner here, so I'm going to wait till I get closer. A little bit closer. Then from the corner in, just like I normally do, and then on round. Sew towards that corner. That might be it actually. So I'll lift the foot up, twist everything, foot down, and sew. And I'll make my way to the back. I'm going to open this up and cut back the piping first so that it is level with the end here. I need it to butt up really nicely. Then work out how far that is. I don't want it to be too bulky. See what that looks like before I start sewing. I think I want it to come to here. I'm going to cut it at an angle like that. And the reason is I want the outside edge to be a little bit longer than the inside edge. When I fold it back, I can't see any of the yellow. Pop that underneath and that over the top like that. I'm going to hold it very tightly across here as I come into that join. The reason I'm doing it this way is because this piece of piping will push onto the piece of piping that's already there. Now if I keep it really tight, it should go on quite nicely. And I'm pulling it down and into place. There we have it. You can't see the yellow if you look that way, and it looks relatively even and flat on. I'm pleased with that. Now I'll cut all these threads back so they don't get caught up. As with the top of the seat cushion, I'm going to pop that underneath so it pokes out the back side. I don't want all the centres to line up. If it does, then I've got a bulk going on, which I don't need. I will cut round like I did before and then sew this into place. I think I might have to do the same, just lift it up slightly. So I know that that's going along that outside edge. I had drawn around the seat top to get the shape for the bottom so it matches. And then obviously cut it out. Just like you did before, bring everything tightly in line. That'll do. The whole idea is to pull the front down as much as you can so it pinches against the piping that you started off with. I found this piece of foam that's for another project, but I'm going to use it anyway, and I'm going to draw this. I'm doing it around the outside initially. When I did the base here, I had the wrong sides together because what occurred to me is that these might not be evenly cut into shape. I know it doesn't go all the way to the back, but that's fine. Now with this gauge, I'm just going around and marking 1/2 inch inside. As this is high density foam, it will not be very forgiving. This is like playing dot to dot because I just need to line all of these marks up as evenly as I can so that the shape of the cushion is as close as I can make it. Really should have had a wider piece of foam, but this is all I had available, and then I'll bring this one in like that. I know this comes to the edge, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll take this on round to the back and do the same because it went over the edge. I think this is about the center of the back of this. I'm going to line that up like that and then pop this underneath here, trying to keep everything together. It's a little bit awkward. I still need to have all of this here because the cushion top is quite heavy and it wants to twist. I'm going to find out whether we can actually do this. I have moved forward from my join because it was a bit too lumpy there. The foot is down, it just doesn't look like it. See if I can get this side border in next to the piping. And then that's slipped. It's really awkward. So I'll readjust everything yet again. I have to guess where that piping is, which is a little bit annoying. And I'm going to do it very slowly. I don't want to do this too fast. Pull this into position as I go. Let's have a look. There's no point in carrying on if I can't get it close enough. Oh, actually I can. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use silicone spray to make sure that that doesn't tear anything as it goes through. I think that will work. Just spray on the back of the leather where the stitching is going to go in. Come into this corner here, needle down, foot up, twist it. It's not going to want to twist very far. I've found that if I keep the hide a little bit at an angle, it goes in better. And I'm having to judge where my stitches are going, which is a bit irritating actually, because I really need them to be in line with the original ones from the piping. But it is going in quite nicely. I used to have an industrial machine and this would have been so much easier. It's working and that's all that matters. As long as you don't do it too often with a domestic machine, you should be fine. Again, I'm going to come in here and cut just like I would do normally, like that, and then I'll pull it round. Foot up and twist slightly, push that into position and move all the way to the back. I'm trying to keep the border a little bit tight against the bottom, so I am actually pinching it in separately and then using my other fingers to bring the hide down onto it. It's a little bit awkward to do. I'm trying not to let it wander. I'm not pulling it too tight along the side, just a little bit to keep it in line. I don't want all my joints to be on top of each other, and it won't be central anymore, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. Fold that so it's in line. Mark it with my scissors. So there's my cut mark. I'm going to lay that down so that it will overlap. Make another cut mark because that's where I'm going to go all the way across. Fold it like that. Make sure that the top and the bottom are level and cut all the way up. Line those side seams up and put a 1/2 inch seam allowance on them. It's a little bit awkward because it doesn't really want to go in straight. One slips against the other. Forward and back, then all the way to the end here, keeping those edges together. Forward and back at the bottom. I am opening the seam at the bottom there so it's nice and flat and hopefully sewing that into position. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm going to have to open that up so it's nice and flat. That's okay. If I look at the other side, there's a few places I think where I could take it in a little bit closer. Not many. There's a place there that could be taken in closer. I'm going to do it from the top because then I'll be able to cinch it in a lot better than I have. And the second row of stitching isn't going to do any harm to this at all. especially at the back here where it didn't pick up all the stitching. That's mainly because it's so thick, and doing it from the other side means I can't get it close enough where I need the stitching to go through. I've lined it up. The foot is going really nicely against there, and round I go. All you might need to do as you go around is to pull this back so it doesn't pleat like that, and it should go in really well. I've opened the back up, push that down into position and sew across. You can see how well the foot actually sits over the piping, which means that when the needle comes down, it's not bouncing off the top of here, and therefore the needle is going all the way through the fabric and picking up the thread underneath. Like any other cushion, if you've got a point where it's recognisable, like here, there's a little bit more definition, hold that there and pop it into here where there's a little bit more definition so that they are up and down. I'm going to pin this from the underside because it's a little bit easier. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side at the front where it seems to be most defined, and line those up together like that. I'm going to be working from the top down, so I'm going to pull this back and push that into there like that so it's rounded. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and sew around. If I push that into place, it should hold it and not move. Push that up to there like that. That looks about even. And I'm going to pin there too. That's more or less at the center, and then I'm going to bring this round here. I'm going to do the same, push that into place and pin here. If I turn here and do the same with the back, it should all push into place. I need the back to be a little bit tighter because I'm going to have to hand sew it, and I think that's a big enough space to work with. Maybe bring that a little bit further back. So I'll start here. This is actually quite a bind because the weight of the front is quite heavy. The border is only a couple of inches, which means that the weight wants to fall off the side of my sewing machine. I'm just going to have to hold everything up and support it. Forward and back. Go forward all the way around. Bring the inside here up to the outside edge as I go, and it should pop into place. Pull the pin, and I am going to put a little nick in, but not too much, maybe 1/4 of an inch, so that it's got a little bit more manoeuvring to do around that corner. Into the corner, needle down, foot up, and guide it into place. Foot down and sew, keeping that raw edge together. I will check to make sure that the sides of the piping went in okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this corner. A little bit closer, a little nick but not too big, and ease that into that corner. Needle down, foot up and twist. Foot down and carry on going. As I come in towards the back here, I'm going to reverse. It should be done. I've checked all my stitching on the lower level as well. It's really quite awkward to push through. The first side isn't very giving. Fortunately, all of my stitching is in place, so I'm pleased with that. Wrapped dacron around it. Center seam here. This is the front, so it's nice and smooth. I've sewn across the top and bottom there for the shaping because it is rounded, it's not flat. I'm just going to pop that inside. Got it in. One thing with fur is you can't just push the cover like you would normally. You've got to kind of ease it into the back. You might just have to shove it further forward and pull it from the top because I don't want to ruin the fur. I think that'll do. I'm going to come up behind the stitching. I think that's the easiest thing because at least I'm more or less where I need to be. Go into the bottom like that and up. I'm going to have to do bigger stitches than I usually do, so I'm going to go in where those stitches are. It's going to take me a little minute to get into place, I think. It's about 1/4 of an inch in length and across. This is not easy. Then I'm going to come across on the underside of the piping about 1/4 of an inch like that, close to where those stitches are. I do need to make sure that the underside tucked down 1/2 an inch all the way across the back. So I'm going into that fold of fabric, in across 1/4 of an inch, there and out, and then up into the piping and across. Now the whole idea is that when I go across to the other side of the fabric, that it is exactly opposite like this. If it isn't, then it's not going to look very neat and it twists as you put the side in. This is going to be a slow progress across the back here today. Out, down, re-roll that in for its 1/2 inch seam allowance so it doesn't unravel. Gauge where that goes and along here, and that is all I'm going to do all the way across across here, and it should go in nice and even. Roll the border down, make sure that's exactly where you need it, and repeat. Nice and easy, just awkward. The other thing is, if you do it like this, you're ensuring that the side of this fabric is all going into place and facing down to keep the bulk out of the top. So there's lots of pushing and pulling in this project to get as neat a look as you can get. Thank you for joining me with this little project. It wasn't that it was difficult, it was more that it was awkward. It was awkward to put the border on, which meant that I had to use the silicone spray. Usually you push the fabric back. You can't do that very easily. I'm just going to have to work it like that and hopefully look a bit better. All in all, I think it looks okay, and it's actually a nice soft cushion now compared to what they had in there. So if you want to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.